Interview with former Mount Kenya University Debate Association Vice President Caleb Amweri.
We are here. You feeling good?
I'm feeling good.
You feeling ready?
I'm very ready.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of Ashes and Blood. With us, we have a very honorable guest, Mr. Caleb Amweri, who was the former vice president, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, this thing has been a journey.
True, does it?
Yeah, a turmoil, ups and downs, a roller coaster in general.
Exactly.
Well, today, in this, we want to get the full details of the story behind it. And to start off, there's a great, I won't say a great rumor, but it is said that you are the burning spear of the debate club. You're highly rated. In the debate arena, you're the most feared, I would like to say that, and you're the highly skilled person. So to start off, we're going to start off with a few questions here and there. We're going to kick off from personal life. Can you share a bit about your background on how you developed an interest in debating?
Right. Thank you very much for that question. So, my official name is Caleb, as it has already been mentioned. So, you have asked how I came to develop the art of debating and fall in love with it at the same time.
Yes.
So, since time immemorial, I've always wanted to be a lawyer. And not just wanted to be, I've already worked towards being one. Because I remember when I was done in 2004, I was called to join law, to do law
Okay.
in Mount Kenya University School of Law. It's because of financial constraints that I was unable to join. However, next year, as I'll be graduating, I'll seamlessly join the School of Law. Now, having had a dream of becoming a lawyer one time, that has been a crucial part of my development in matters to about public speaking, having the courage to speak in front of many people, being an argumentative kind of a person instead of just a submissive kind of person. For me, I believe that it is good to debate a matter before settling it, rather than settling a matter before debating it, because you never know other people's perspectives. As a debater, we've been trained to understand that you are not always correct. Your POV doesn't guarantee you to be correct, but having to listen to other people argue and impart you with knowledge is an art that time in, time out I've really developed a liking towards it.
Wow. And you're a senior student, isn't it?
Exactly.
Having to juggle your personal life, your personal commitments, and your passion for debating. How do you manage all that?
Okay. That one is, I'll take a long one to answer that question.
Okay.
I remember when I was young, since time immemorial, I've been in different leadership positions. Right from my primary school, people we went to, friends of mine who perhaps maybe will watch this, from Kaimosi Friends Primary School, I've always been a leader.
Okay.
Way through my high school life, way through my
So it's
campus
naturally
life.
within the blood.
Yeah. So bringing an equilibrium between my studies, debating, and leadership has not always been a compromising factor in my life, because I've tried and I've mastered the craft of bringing an equilibrium between the three aspects.
So in general, you are good at multitasking. Exactly.
I can't really say good, but I'm average.
You try.
I try. Yeah.
Okay. Well, moving on to your life as a debater, as from our sources, it says that in Mount Kenya University Debate Association, you're among the best debaters. What techniques or strategies do you use to craft your compelling arguments?
Now, every time you get a person who claims expertise in a certain field, it needs to send a signal to you that these people have done what is called the extraordinary in that field. Because, somebody asks you today to account for national debaters we have, there are so many.
Yeah.
But what really brings out a difference between these people, it is the amount of time they're willing to invest in the craft so that they at least claim expertise. I do not always claim monopoly or expertise in debating, but I can say amongst the few national debaters that are recognized in Kenya, I'm privileged to have my name being listed as one of them. I've spent countless times during the night when people are asleep to sharpen my argumentative skills, my evidential sources, and my public speaking. I think that's what makes me to stand out. However, I'm not yet where I want to be, but at least I'm happy that the progress is really paying. The time and amount of research I put in towards developing my craft is really showing.
So it's all about sacrifice.
Exactly.
Wow, that's really amazing. And have you ever faced any tough opponent or a situation during a debate? And for instance, when you're in a debate arena, and how did you handle it?
Absolutely, I've faced countless of times. One thing I really love about myself is the fact that I've developed the stoicism art of coping with the environment. You know, you've ever had when you're told that it's sometimes it's good to flow with the tide. So when I've met different people in the debating arena who are more lethal than me.
Wow.
But one thing I really love about myself is the fact that I can be able to cop up your game and play your game and potentially beat you in your own game. So that is a skill that I'm able to amass. So I'll just check the techniques you're using to beat me, then I'll try to bring a comparison and a simulative kind of a symbiotic process between my skills and the one you're using, so that I can be able to beat you in your own game.
Wow. Okay, that's really amazing, actually, if you come to think of it. And out of these competitions you've engaged in within the arena, what's your most memorable debate experience, and why is it your most memorable? Could you give us an instance of perhaps a competition that was either held within or an external competition?
Now, many are the times that whenever I'm being given a podium to debate, to me is always a very memorable time. I do not have really a specific memorable time that is more memorable than the others, because I do take matters, debates, and public speaking very seriously. However, there is one moment that we had a debate at Kenyatta University School of Law. It was called the Athena Women's Debate. I think amongst the many debate tournaments that I've been able to participate in, both nationally and locally, within the institution and outside, that to me was one kind of a debate tournament that I'd live to remember. It was one of a kind in its own making.
And from the name Athena, the goddess, it really sounds to be really thrilling. Coming to matters to do with leadership, being a leader, you face a lot of challenges.
Exactly.
And challenges never cease to exist. What challenges did you face as a vice president of the debate club, and how did you overcome them?
Now, one thing that I always tell people who are in office is that matters talking leadership and governance, problems never cease to exist. They may come, they may go, but how you treat them, how you handle them is what is going to determine whether you're going to survive with those challenges or not. For me, when I was a vice president of Mount Kenya University Debate Association, I faced numerous challenges, and not only me, but the past regime, the regime that has just gone out of office. We faced a lot of trouble because, mind you, it was the second regime after the institution of the Mount Kenya University Debate Association. So we were really struggling to have some roots somewhere. And just like a company, when a club is started within a school, it really suffers to establish itself, to get a name for itself. But one of the challenges that stood out for me, and I really had a tough time handling, was having the committee members or the cabinet members to eat from one plate. And you'd realize that many are the times whereby if a cabinet is not eating from one plate, the problem is transferred down to the members seamlessly.
Yeah.
That is a problem that I struggle with. Being a vice president, I tried my level best to ensure that most of our cabinet members, if not all, limited to many, ate from one plate, so that at least we can have an equilibrium between the cabinet members and the members seamlessly.
And to those who would like to become leaders in other clubs or maybe other aspects within the institution, what leadership qualities do you think are the most important for managing a debate club or any club or just being a leader in general?
Number one is the willingness to serve. That one has always been a very conspicuous aspect of a leader. You might not possess what people want you to have, but as long as you have the willingness to serve the people, the good qualities of a leader will definitely come out of you. Because it is a hands-on approach. You have to be there to know the problems people have so that you can provide a tailor-made method to handle this problem. However, one thing I always tell people who desire to become leaders, I'm not yet where I want to be, because at one time in life I see myself becoming the president of Kenya. So you'd realize that I still have a long journey to achieve that in leadership and governance. Leadership titles are something, this is just something that is meant to give you privileges when you hold this office, but they are not forever. A good leader is that one who makes people to believe in them. But a great leader is that one who is able to make you believe in yourself. If you can able to amass that, you will become a very good leader, because every time you are in an office, you'll be more inclined to making people believe in themselves and become great as you still elevate yourself.
Okay. On to reflections in that way. From your experience as a leader, it must have changed some aspects about you as a person. And we would like to know what you've learned from your leadership experience and how it has changed you to the person you are.
Right, that is a good question. So for me, I'd say that having been into office from having served in different capacities in leadership, I've been able to learn the art of emotional intelligence. It is something that previously I didn't have control over. But as time moves on, I've realized that for you to be a good leader, you might be a good leader, but if you do not have what we call the emotional intelligence, you are not only but a danger to yourself but to the society. Because people have different problems. How you approach people differently determines how they're going to receive you or they're going to hate you. So I've really learned how to bring an equilibrium between my balancing of emotions and my discharge of power in office. That is something that I've really learned over the years as I have been a leader in different capacities.
Hey, it's really having to hear that. It's really amazing. And as we conclude, looking back to all the things that you went through as a leader, as a debate, having to balance your personal life with your school life and also your leadership part within the institution, is there anything that you would wish that you would have done differently as a leader or a debater? And if there is, why?
If I'm getting your question right, you are basically asking my regrets in office. That is actually the term perhaps maybe you could have used, but it sounds so piercing. I don't really think that I have a regret in office, if not for a bit of lack of emotional empathy and emotional intelligence, but that was way back when I was starting my leadership tenures and leadership service in different capacities. But over the times, I've been able to overcome that. And I think that people I have served in different capacities will tell you that I'm becoming a better leader than one I used to be, because I believe in continuous growth. And I feel like if given a chance to serve in different capacities, that I am an emeritus leader, I could govern or discharge office duty with a lot of emotional intelligence, so as to avoid to hurt people's feelings unknowingly, not knowing, unknowingly. Because sometimes back I used to be very emotionally careless, so perhaps maybe I could hurt people's feelings unknowingly. So if given chance to serve again in different offices that I've left, I will really try to see to it that I have served without having emotional balance.
Okay. Now, from what we know and the principles of MKUDA, Mount Kenya University Debate Association, it's not only a club for debaters. We understand that there are several things that you would take part in matters to shape the nation and bring a change to the nation. Could you please give us a glimpse of some of the activities that you do aside from debating?
First of all, I'll take a long walk to answer your question. Most of the time when people get to hear about scouting on campus, they will quickly relate it with a lot of marching, a lot of flag raising, all that kind of activity. Yeah, it is. We have suffered from the same stigma. When people hear debate club, they feel that these are people who perhaps maybe are trying to behave as if they are lawyers, every time arguing without maybe having a conclusion. But no, that is not always our aim. Apart from fostering public speaking and having a critical mind, because we constantly engage in matters of research, we have a lot of research that has been done currently at Kenya University Based Club. We also do community incident based. I cannot say really we are perfect in that, but I can cite for you a few examples that we've been able to achieve. Recently, there is a school just adjacent to Mount Kenya University that is called the Queen of Rosary High School. It is a school that we started mentoring just recently, it's a few months ago actually. They didn't have a debate club. We are the one who instituted it in courtesy of Mount Kenya University Debate Club. We trained them, we mentored them, and I think to me that school is a true definition of somebody who is coming from grass to grace. Because all through the sub-county competitions, to the county competitions, the national competitions, still the international competitions, it is something to be proud of.
So they've made it to East Africa and continental region.
Just
wow.
recently they participated in Tanzania.
Okay.
A debate that was it was the East Africa Debates Association kind of a thing. So we feel so happy that we are able to give back to society and train people in what we do best and seeing them excel in what we do best. So it brings a lot of joy. Apart from that, we also visit children's home to uplift and give smiles to those people who need them most. So the Best Club is not all about argument, research and public speaking, but we also do community work with level best. And we see ourselves elevating from just the society adjacent to us to more level heights.
That's pretty amazing actually. As you finish up wrapping things up, what is your last word to our viewers out there?
First of all, allow me to start by addressing people within Mount Kenya University, main campus speaker. I will say that should you be given a chance to join clubs within the school, that is MKU, do consider Mount Kenya University Debate Association. It will really act as a very instrumental aspect towards your holistic development within the school, because it will impart you with a lot of knowledge in matters talking about research, critical thinking, and being a tailor-made kind of a speaker who can be able to implement a few of things. Now, a good example is the one-on-one conversation we are having with you. It is not a scripted kind of interview. It is something that I'm able to download from my head and speak. That is courtesy of Mount Kenya University Debate Association. Now, apart from that is that people existing within different universities and different societies make use of small groups that exist. Constant showing up these small groups gives you a lot of opportunities, it gives you a lot of exposure, it gives you a lot of friends, it gives you a lot of networks, it gives you a lot of resources, it gives you a lot of new ideas. It is just always very instrumental in matters talking about holistic development. Should you find time, engage in these things, digest in them, do projects, get the certificates, get the soft skills, they will help you when you start interacting with the job market or the corporate world.
Wow. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they say a loaf of bread is a half loaf of bread is better than that. That's it for this episode. We'll be right back with more details. Don't go that far. We're coming soon. Thank you very much for having us. Yeah, Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.